You are welcome to LFN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. A number of times we have seen people speak on R. Kelly, some rebuking him and others defending him, for they can now see he was framed by those who simply wanted his career destroyed. Among these is popular vlogger Vlad, who has made himself a name interviewing a multiplicity of celebrities, most especially African American artists who have excelled in their music and acting careers. Vlad has never had the chance to do an interview with R. Kelly, and he explains this saying R. Kelly had always been too big a star for him to get onto his channel. But then when he managed to get an interview with him only recently through a prison phone call, Vlad returned to social media boasting about how he has this interview with R. Kelly, and how he will not be publishing it on his channel. This caused supporters and fans of R. Kelly to question what Vlad's interest could be to get such a precious piece of information, and instead of releasing it such that R. Kelly's message can get across, he instead chose to archive it and tell the world how he took an interview with R. Kelly he would not be releasing. He actually said this himself live on air during an interview where he was hosted by Math Hoffa.
Because the interview that I wanted to do was not what he wanted to do. But I'm not going to put out that interview.
This, however, was not the highlight of Vlad's time with Math Hoffa. During the very same discussion, Vlad did mention that when one is a big-time celebrity like R. Kelly, a different yardstick is used to judge them. One that is different from that used to judge the conduct of others in court. While Vlad mentioned these words in an attempt to educate the world that R. Kelly is actually guilty, he ended up exposing the fact that R. Kelly was actually prejudiced by the U.S. courts, rendering his trials meaningless. It's important to note that it is such subconscious statements that usually hold the real truth. While Vlad felt he was making R. Kelly's reputation questionable, in the process he punched holes within the Department of Justice, indicating how they will handle and treat celebrities, or in particular treat successful black artists differently from other citizens just because of who they are. Well, this should not be acceptable in this our country. Indeed, there has been so many scenarios while dealing with the cases against R. Kelly where prejudicial tendencies were very conspicuous. Without going to the details of these, what we know for sure is that the government did not play fair, and neither did the DOJ. We saw R. Kelly overcharged and wrongly convicted for crimes that some people regarded as total strangers to his case. The government successfully fooled the court and its jurors to believe that R. Kelly was a very bad man, to a point where they were able to issue guilty verdicts that were not backed up by any sort of evidence. Vlad is not wrong therefore to suggest that this justice system does use differing yardsticks when judging the actions of some citizens from those of others. Meaning the US law applies differently between different categories of citizens. Just how can a system operate this way and also claim to be fair? It's most definite that R. Kelly was in fact prejudiced by the New York trial court, which allowed over 40 bad act accusers with non-related evidence to take the stand and present a collection of evidence that was never related to the case at hand, and materials only intended to create an opinion among the jurors that R. Kelly is indeed a very bad man. This is prejudice of the highest level. All these acts that were presented by these numerous bad act accusers were non-charged events, and according to appeal court standards, such procedures are a strong reflection of prejudice, and therefore when Vlad spoke and said R. Kelly was being judged using a different yardstick from other American citizens, he wasn't wrong. Returning to Vlad's role in this, he may have not necessarily wanted the world to know that indeed R. Kelly was prejudiced, for he is one of those who want to see him in jail, but without knowing he had already said it.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, I believe that he did it. Right? Like we all saw that tape that circulated back in the early 2000s.
Just why Vlad would want to be known as one of the people that helped in the R. Kelly takedown for his selfish contributions is still hard to understand. But he ought to know that by taking an interview R. Kelly felt was going to help his case and simply archiving it, and leaving all his fans and supporters to only anticipate what its subject content matter could have been, Vlad has just added his name to the long list of those that helped destroy R. Kelly's career. Meanwhile, this is just a new addition to the many bad records the popular vlogger has when it comes to the way he deals with African American celebrities he hosts on his channel. It's believed that Vlad has indeed played a major role in turning many African American celebrities against each other by getting them to tell on one another, building hate amongst them, Putting aside the suspicions that saw him threaten to sue Tasha K when she mentioned that he could be a federal informant on black celebrities, this act alone in which he attempted to show contempt for R. Kelly says so much about his character. According to Maria Slavinsky, while many think Vlad did what he did to R. Kelly because he is a Fed informant, well, it's because he is afraid of famous rapper Jay-Z, who he certainly knows is right behind R. Kelly's ordeals. He certainly knows better not to add his name to the people who are working against Jay-Z's project against R. Kelly. And this could also explain why very many artists have remained quiet about this injustice R. Kelly is currently faced with. Over time, Jay-Z has become a very influential figure in the music industry, and therefore has plenty of influence on the music business. Many artists know that Jay-Z can decide who makes it and who fails when it comes to the music business, and because they all have an idea it could be him that hired his longtime friend Dream Hampton to produce Surviving R. Kelly, they are treading carefully and have all opted to go slow on this matter. And Vlad is not taking any chances either. But again, why would he take this interview in the first place if he already knew he wouldn't publish it? Why does he want to humiliate the R&B king? Perhaps he just wanted the world to know that he had the capacity to get it, for he had been looking for it throughout his career but just couldn't get the opportunity. According to Quanah Jones, I don't blame R. Kelly, for I wouldn't give Vlad the exact interview he'd be looking for myself, knowing that all he is gonna do is twist up what I said and turn the world against me. That is exactly what he has done to most of the people that have given him interviews. We would be damned to imagine that he would behave differently with R. Kelly, and it's no wonder the idea to interview him ended this way. Also, he could have asked questions R. Kelly was not willing to respond to. The main reason he chose not to publish the interview is therefore likely because the questions he approached R. Kelly with were not answered, more than his claim that R. Kelly said things he wouldn't want to publish. If you wish to take part in a live interview discussing any of these topics, let us know by sending an email to sashalfnmedia@gmail.com for scheduling. Thank you for watching today's video, a production of LFN Media, giving you another perspective of issues at hand. We make it our business to keep you updated with the truth amidst the cloud of lies the media wants you to believe. It is therefore important to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon and allow all notifications so that you don't miss out whenever we publish a new video.